Hello and welcome to Game-Geki. It's time for some Silent Hill play novel. Read by DDK. DDK, you ready to read?
The fear is gripping me though, but I'm ready to read.
So last time we got to some point. Let me load the game. We got to, in order to find Lisa, I turn on the flashlight on my chest and begin to run at full speed. He likes to run at full
That's
speed.
an amazing way of saving.
Yeah, so, yeah. Off we go then. So, yeah, we effectively need to get back to Lisa, and we're in the dark world now, because he needs to find out, what if he did want to get from Lisa again? He just did the other church thing, right? So now he wants to get
the other church.
He wants to get back to Lisa to find out how to get to the lake. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much about halfway through the game, roughly. So
Yeah.
I'll read the page we're on. In order to find Lisa, I turn on the flashlight on my chest and begin to run at full speed.
Oh.
Derp, ba, 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 row, row, row. That's basically the sound effects involved.
Yeah.
I left the antique shop with the intention of reuniting with Lisa, but I discover that all the roads leading to the hospital are blocked. With no other choice, I enter the shopping mall town centre in the shopping district.
I'm just going to hit the boss.
What's that over there? A hunting rifle? Nah, couldn't be. Inside, everything has naturally changed to the other world as well.
You can see the amazing 1983 display there of TVs, plus the Virgin Megastore.
I can hear the groans of monsters in the vicinity at another one of DDK's jokes, and it would not be surprising if they attacked at any moment. The floor has changed to metal grating, and the building looks as if it's been left in ruins for several hundred years. Oh, it's not bad for several hundred years.
It looks like it.
Large monitors have been placed in the hall at the entrance to greet shoppers. After wandering around the first floor and finding nothing interesting, I begin heading up the powered down escalator. And at that moment, suddenly light overflows from out of the monitors in the hall. A bound Cheryl is displayed on the screens. Daddy, help me! Cheryl! I turn around and run back down the escalator towards the first floor hall. The image of Cheryl on the monitors then begins to get more and more fuzzy, until it dissolves into video static on the picture tube. And then in place of Cheryl, an eerie crest is displayed. It looked a lot like that witch, that which I saw in the courtyard of the elementary school. I pound on the monitors. Come out of there, you! I pound with all my strength as if I believe that Cheryl is trapped inside the picture tube. However, Cheryl's image did not appear again. Was that the last time we see Cheryl in the game?
Yes.
Do you think she just died between then and whatever ritual was done to her?
I think maybe she may have literally just been instantly converted into Alyssa, like, straight away. And her image is merely used as, to attract Harry to get.
Cheryl is definitely taken away by someone and is being held by them, and she is waiting for me to rescue her. I must hurry, I say to myself. All right.
Search the second floor, search the first floor. The first floor's already empty, so I go to the second floor and fall down and fight the boss. No, wait, I should have tried the first floor and get the rifle. Fuck, I missed it.
Damn it. The second floor is more brutal than the first and is completely deserted. However, I'm paying attention. I can hear a sound like a liquid substance splashing from somewhere. I can sense that something that is not human is there. I turn towards the direction of the noise and began to run. And then I discover the source of the noise. As soon as I step there, a section of the floor that I was standing on gives way and falls with me on top of it. I scream almost right away. Although I just fell one floor, strangely enough, I'm not hurt. This old rifle broke my fall. The floor of the somewhat wide room is sandy, and it is most certainly what cushioned my fall.
There it is. The rifle. I mean the sandy floor.
I picked up that rifle at my feet and try readying
Damn,
it.
this is going. Don't creating a time paradox.
Damn. As I do so, an unspeakably unpleasant tremor comes from below me, and it shakes my entire body. It's the paradox. It is not something that I can see.
The time paradox is just can't happen. This didn't happen.
I decided this because I felt it only from below me. I can clearly tell that something with a long body like a caterpillar is moving around below me. As I move, it moves in the same direction. So it is obvious that it's aiming for me as it moves. And then it shows itself. Show yourself!
There it is.
Oh, no. It's a giant caterpillar, about 5 meters long. It sprays a green liquid from its fierce, tusk-covered mouth down what a horrible monster.
Is it that bad?
Yeah,
It's pretty bad,
I can
Jack.
tell that the liquid is poisonous just from looking at it. And then it's definitely being discharged towards me. Ugh. I did not dodge it in time, so some of that liquid got on my arm. The pain is sharp. Red is rising up where the poisonous liquid got on me, as it's dissolving the components of my skin. Damn! Fire the rifle, run.
I mean, I don't have the rifle, so. Well, it's very interesting. I mean, I guess I'll fire the rifle because I had to kill the boss ultimately.
I am in danger now. I once again ready the rifle that I just picked up.
it's like poking fun at me. Poking
Yeah.
out that you picked it up. I didn't.
Then I rain bullets into the creature that has appeared above ground. Ooh. Green fluid began to leak from its abdomen. It looked red there though. So it twisted its large body and once again buried underground. A steel plate is conveniently lying in the middle of the area. If I could just get on top of it, then I should be able to avoid direct attack.
It's on purpose, not.
However, I
I moved onto this little plate and drove my fight, so I moved on to this little plate.
After moving on to the steel plate, I discovered one problem with doing so. I can no longer tell where it's coming from. I can only go with my intuition, my gut. Just where is it going to appear from? I gamble.
This is fucking.
So I
this
guess
is a
it was
coin
supposed
toss.
to. I suppose it was implying that you had to stand still to get it to chase you before you ran onto it.
Behind me.
What's that coin? I listen carefully. I wagered that it's coming from behind. Ooh. I spin around and fire the rifle. It just appeared there, and my first shot went right through its head.
There you go. Boom.
It exploded like a piece of fruit It exploded like a piece of fruit exploding, and liquid with a revolving colour and horrible smell began to flow around it. I pursue it as it begins to try and escape back into the ground, firing the rifle on the deserted floor of the town centre.
Yeah. That was the behind was the right answer, I guess.
I leave the town centre.
I believe the thing did always pop up from behind me.
Perhaps the caterpillar from before was blocking my path to the hospital as my route, which had been blocked until before, was now restored. The entire town seemed like the insides of an enormous living thing. If a part of it is threatened, then a part of it is destroyed. If a part of it disappears, then a part of it appears. Sorry, I've treated before. I get the feeling that if I'm wandering around a living organism that has become a labyrinth. I open the gate to the hospital and then energetically open the door to the examination room. Tonight's going to be my night. Inside, Lisa was waiting for me. Harry. She changes from looking completely exhausted and rushes over to me in an innocent, childlike way. Glad you're okay. Thank God you came back. She seems to only exist in the nightmare world, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's because she's a part of the She's effectively a part of the Delusion Like the Monsters.
I was scared to be here all alone.
Jude says that at one point in the game,
I'm here now.
at the very end.
I was worried too. I'm real happy to see you. I lightly hug Lisa and gently draw away. I then speak while looking into her eyes. Lisa, can you tell me how to get to the lake? The lake? You take Backman Road. The road's blocked. I recall what Sybil told me. Well, that's the only way out there. Are you sure? There's gotta be another way. Lisa places her hand on her chin and thinks for a bit. And her eyes open wide as she has realized something. Wait, I just remembered something. What?
Did she realise something or remember something? Two very different things.
She realized that she remembered something.
Oh.
There's a waterworks over by the old elementary school. It's been abandoned for years. There's an underground tunnel out there, used for inspections or something. I remember hearing it runs all the way to the lake. Really? You think I can get to the lake from there? I've never been down there myself, so I'm not positive. Besides, it's all fenced off to keep people like you out. If there's a chance, I've got to try. Lisa embraces me again just as I think that her fate is beginning to look tearful. Her face. Harry, don't go. I don't want to be alone. It's so scary, I can't stand it. This one room in an empty hospital. In this state in which monsters could kick in the door and enter at any time. She has no weapons with which to defend herself with. So with her being grit with fear is only natural. What should I do?
I mean, she doesn't come with me normally, so I'll leave Lisa here.
It's safe for here, Lisa. Lisa, I wave her. Is it okay for me to leave Lisa alone? But then, what will happen to Cheryl? Cheryl has only me to depend on. My concern for Cheryl cannot be compared with my concern for Lisa. And no matter what, she is my daughter. Look, just wait here a little longer. I'll be back as soon as I find my daughter. Perhaps these words rang cold for Lisa. But there's nothing that can be done. I must save my daughter. Harry.
Well, can't be helped.
I leave the hospital. The water supply installation near the elementary school. I was told that I could go through those sewers and reach the lake that Cheryl was heading towards. I must hurry. As I began to run, I felt something fly over my head. Looks like something is flying in circles in the sky above me, but it's dark, so I cannot see it so well. I climbed the metal stairs up the building across the street and then head up to the roof. What is this?
No, I've only just realised, but if the other thing was a caterpillar, maybe it's like butterfly floor. Maybe it's meant to be the same monster. So they fight them so close together.
What is it? What is it?
What is it? What is it?
A giant moth. I guess I didn't completely kill it.
Oh, so it is the same monster then. Yeah, interesting.
The caterpillar that I shot at the town centre has followed me here.
So look.
Oh yeah. And it's mutated and it has matured.
Like fine wine.
It dances against the black sky and is looking down at me. I guess that's why we didn't come back into the real world, because the boss wasn't fully killed. In addition to the poison that it can discharge from its mouth, it now has a stinger with which to stick me with.
Oh, stick me.
I'm in danger.
I mean, shoot the thing. It's the boss. Gotta murder it.
Let rip. I fire that rifle. However, its depth in the air evades my aim, leaving the bullet to only air before being swallowed by the darkness. Calm down, I told myself. I must focus on only one target.
Man, this is not something you have to do in the game.
Let the auto aim decide.
I mean, that's like the other thing,
Wings.
right? Wings, right?
Wings worked out before.
Yeah.
I aim at its wings. Its wings are so large that even if it did blow a hole in one, it would not make much of a difference.
Whoops.
The base of its wings. If I destroy the joints at the base of its wings, then it will no longer function. I adjust my aim. However, aiming at such a small area is quite difficult for an amateur like me. Besides, my opponent can freely fly in the sky, which makes me think that the shot is near impossible. While dodging it, I point the barrel of the gun at the soft area below its chest. It adeptly uses its large wings to pursue me, but eventually its strength runs out and it falls between two buildings. Green liquid leaks from its insides and its screams echo throughout the town. The nightmare still continues. After passing through the sewers connected to the water supply installation near the elementary school, I came up in the most popular part of Silent Hill. Oh, funny how the sewers are basically cut because they're filler. The lakeside tourist spot.
Not what the amazing green monsters.
I know, ultimate monsters, and plus they try to ambush you as well. However, in spite of this, there is no reason to expect anyone to be here. The area is wrapped in darkness in a condition in which it would be impossible to even walk around without a flashlight. First, I decided to enter Annie's bar, which lies on the road to the lake.
Straight to Annie's bar.
As I approached the door, I noticed what sounds like a struggle coming from the other side.
Doing it straight away.
When I opened the door inside, Kaufman is there. Dr. Michael Kaufman. That is certainly what he said his name was. A monster has him cornered. He's back against the far wall. The bar is the worst kind of monster as well, and he's out of his breath. He did not notice me come into the bar and looked as if he had lost all hope. I pointed my gun at the monster and fired.
Damn.
Even if the monster after the monster had died with a cry like a metallic twisting. Kaufman just stared into the air, looking completely worn out.
Very bizarre pixelated image.
Are you okay?
Why is there so many pixels in this image for?
His face is melted. As I spoke to him, he weakly stood up, brushed his pants twice, and slowly looked towards me. Yeah, I guess so. But I'm beat. I thought I was a gunner there. So, how'd it go? Did you find a way out? No, not yet. Not sure who's talking actually.
Harry.
How about you?
That, yeah.
Zip. But it's too soon to give up. This craziness can't go on forever. The military rescue squad should be here any time now. If they come through the town, we're home free.
Yeah, just say that.
He looked at the darkness outside the window and clenched his fists. I hope so. I say. I better get going. This isn't the time to stand around flapping out gums.
Flapping out gums?
Maybe gums, maybe.
Flapping out gums.
He fixed his car and then began to walk to the door. He walked as if he were incredibly hungry, and when he reached the door, I asked him the question that had been on my mind for quite some time. Kaufman.
I mean, both questions allude to Alyssa. He asked. I don't think it shows him the picture in the original game.
He doesn't show him at the game, no.
Because I'll just ask him about him.
Do you know a girl called Alessa? His hand, which he placed on the doorknob, paused for a moment. And then he looked back at me.
Nope.
No. Kaufman quickly looked back at the door and left as if he were running away.
That's how it happens exactly in the game.
Yeah. You know, he was lying.
Mm.
Dr. Michael Kaufman. He definitely has some secret. Well, I'm not sure whether it's connected to me rescuing Cheryl or not. He knows the main reason why this town has undergone a transformation. I followed him so that he did not notice me.
Hmm.
He races through the dark alleys. Perhaps it's because he's familiar with the geography here.
Geography.
The sound of the harsh wind blowing down from the mountains as it cuts through the eaves of the buildings hides my footsteps and my presence.
Reading that word, I wanted to read it as geography as well.
I continued to carefully tail him, making sure not to lose sight of him. Finally, his small figure opened the door of a certain building, and he disappeared inside. He went to a motel.
The whole side quest automatically.
Yeah. Went on to one of the guest rooms.
Hmm.
The door he went through is one that's off limits to outsiders and only for use by employees. I press down on my heart, which feels like it's going to explode. With my left hand, I open the door that Kaufman just used and head inside. Inside, ancient dust is everywhere and the room reeks of mildew. It looks to be a garage.
Switch to the garage, yeah.
Oil, a sprayer, tires, and such have been placed on a dirty metal shelf. Hard. Kaufman is nowhere to be found. There's only one other door in the room and it's slightly open. He must have went through there into another room. However, I did not go after him right away. Instead, my attention turned to the motorcycle near the wall and I stopped. The gas tank of the motorcycle differs from the rest of the motorcycle, as it's oddly clean and shiny. The motorcycle is so covered in dust that it's not possible to even distinguish what color it is. But I get the feeling it was probably yellow. The gas tank area alone has been fiddled with by someone. I tried gently opening the gas tank. Inside the gas tank is a black vinyl bag that is protecting a small glass bottle.
No option to miss it.
No. At that moment, I was about to reach into it. A familiar voice stopped me. Give me that! When I turned, Kaufman was just glaring at me, his face white with anger. His clenched fists are shaking with rage. What is this? That's none of your business. Instead of messing with that, how about coming up with a way to get out of here?
Humph!
You shouldn't be hanging around here goofing off. What do you think you're doing? You want to get yourself killed? Get out of here! Even if he had not said that, I understood. I didn't know just how important this small bottle was to him, but I didn't think that it would help me to find Cheryl. So I gave it to him. Okay, take it easy. Unless you want to die, keep your mind on business. Got it? Saying that, Kaufman acts calm and leaves the garage. I think...
Wait, yeah.
That guy's gotta be involved in the local drug racket.
Amazing. Which isn't actually a spoken line in the game, apparently.
Man, he was pissed. And it's such a rush, too. I was probably dope in the bottle. Anyway, better let him do as he pleases. So that's officially the only line that's fully dubbed in this playthrough.
Yep. Yeah, technically, you could actually... There's actually a lot of lines that are verbatim straight from the game.
Yeah,
Could
you could
technically
dub the whole game.
Yeah.
There's more than that at stake.
Okay.
I then realised I was wasting time and I immediately leave the hotel.
Oops, let me skip on.
I checked the map and then head to the greatest part of the sightseeing area, the lakeside. It's pretty great.
Pretty great.
My visible breath brushes by my cheeks, drifting in the air as if to mark my trail. And then, finally, becoming one with the air around it. It's crucial, these details.
It is.
It's painting 1,000 pictures, and each picture 1,000 words. And then the area gradually begun turning into that nightmarish world. Dum, dum.
Oh.
I mean, it could have had, like, texture of concrete morph into that.
Like it does in the game real time.
I abruptly come to stop. This time, the change is not instant like before. The town, the world seems like it's being dumped into a demon's body. And I'm filled with a feeling that there is no going back. Something has changed. In a way that cannot be undone. There's a road before me. So I run along on it. That's all I can do, one foot in front of the other. Is there any hope? Is Cheryl alive? In this situation in which I cannot be sure of anything, I frequently have to fight off the urge to get sick, and all the monsters too.
Speaking of real-time level transition, I guess at one point, maybe after the whole Silent Hill playthrough, we should probably play that medium game. It's meant to be a Silent Hill spiritual successor.
Yeah,
And the thing is, I'm definitely not fucking paying for that game. It's coming out on PlayStation 5, like, at the end of next month, I think. The thing is, the game is like apparently not very all that great, and on Xbox it was a Game Pass game, so it's not too bad there. But I ain't paying full price for that. That's pretty short as well.
If it's really short, it might end up just going on PlayStation Plus. You never know.
Or even PlayStation Now. Well, PlayStation Now's not only PS5 games yet.
In this situation, in which I cannot be sure of anything, I frequently have to fight off the urge to get sick. Blech.
Blech.
However, I believe that I will find something if I continue forward on this road. I run across a pier, and without thinking about it, I wrench the door of a small boat stopped midway along the pier open and rush inside it.
Sybil?
There was already a passenger inside the boat. Not really a passenger. Sybil! Harry!
Harry!
Our voices revealed that we were both relieved. How did you get back here? I followed the sewer. Were you the one who cut the fence? Yeah. I'm glad you made it. I was worried about you. You were worried? Where did you disappear to? Never mind. I want to know what's going on here. What is with this town? What's going on with this town?
Can't believe what is happening to the city. Do we have that sound? I can't remember if I grabbed that one or not.
No, I've only got the reply.
I ain't got no clue, darling.
I condensed all the things that had happened to me into one somewhat unclear conclusion.
But despite that I didn't grab, I can't declare saying I can't believe what's happening to the city.
I look at Sybil and begin to speak. This may sound really off the wall, but listen to me. You've got to believe me. Got to believe me. I haven't gone crazy and am not fooling around. At first I thought I was losing my mind. But now I know I'm not. It's not me. This whole town. It's being invaded by the otherworld. Oh no shit, Harry. It's clearly being invaded.
I don't think
By a
she's
world of
experienced
someone's
it, right?
nightmarish delusions come to life. She seemingly isn't aware of it, if that's the case. Little by little, the invasion is spreading.
I think all she's seeing is the monsters in the street in the darkness. I don't think she's been in the nightmare realm. I mean, maybe we'll find out on her scenario, I guess. But when you mentioned it before, she wasn't aware of what we was talking about.
Trying to swallow up everything in darkness. I think I'm finally beginning to understand what this lady was talking about. Harry, hold on a minute. I don't get it. Look, I don't understand it all myself. I guess I can't explain it. I honestly revealed how I felt. Well, what's making this happen? I don't know that either. But I do know Cheryl is there. There? Under whoever created this darkness. Cheryl is somewhere. And she needs my help. You need my help? And once I finished explaining everything, Sybil faintly smiled and looked at me
You
as
need
if she
anything
was
from
one.
me? I don't know that one, but that one was on the soundboard. So.
As if she was worried. Harry, this whole thing's been a major blow to you.
You need my help?
There you go.
You need to rest. I was let down.
See, that line's technically dubbed as well.
This world, its state, and the reason it became like this. I understood, and I wanted Sybil to understand as well. Even though I am a writer, I am cursed by a limited vocabulary. Damn it, your books must be really shit.
No one's ever heard of him, so you must be.
Or as well written as this is, anyway.
Mm.
This is something that upsets me about myself. Sybil, As I was speaking, the door slowly opened and I could see someone enter the room. It was not a monster, but a human.
I mean, is she really human? Look at her.
The demon is awakening! Spreading those wings! Dahlia Gillespie. Was it not as I said? I see it all now. I'm not sure I said that, but yeah. Yes, everything! Hungry for sacrifice, the demon will swallow up the land. I knew this day would come. And what's more, the task is almost finished. Punch her in the face.
Yeah.
There's only 2 left. To seal this town to the abyss, the mark of Samael. When it is completed, all is lost. Even in daytime, darkness will cover the sun. The dead will walk and martyrs will burn in the fires of hell. Everyone will die. Everybody's gonna die.
Everyone's gonna die!
Excellent.
What am I supposed to do? I've got to save Cheryl. I don't give a shit about your world. It is simple. Stop the demon. The demon that's taking the child's form. Stop it before your daughter becomes a sacrifice. So she needed him to capture.
She needed him, I believe, to use the triangle, the
Pharos.
the Pharos thing on Alyssa, because I believe Alyssa's like gone kind of wild and rogue, and she therefore needs the Taurus to neutralize her, to make her obedient again. But she's too
it's too late.
But she's too dangerous for her to do it, so she needs Harry to do it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Don't open that door.
What should I do? You still got that flower, Ross? Go to the lighthouse on the lake and go to the center of the amusement park. Make haste. I guess that's where the last 2 symbols are, is what they're going on about. But and I guess it's talking about moving the flower onto them. Or you are the only hope. Look, Harry. I really don't get what's going on, but you're clearly crazy. But if there's a chance we can save your daughter, I'm in. I'll check out the amusement park. You go to the lighthouse. Sybil.
Not just go to the lighthouse, because that's what we did in the game. But
Yeah.
what's the lighthouse even about? It's like a distraction or something.
You see a mark of Samael and you meet Alyssa up there, so I guess
But I can almost split second, and she disappears, and he just went down.
perhaps that was necessary though. Sybil, thanks.
So she needed that Marcus Samuel activated or something.
Gripping a handgun, Sybil left the boat and disappeared into the darkness. What? Why has that got a thing on the top of it now to tell us who's talking?
Oh yeah,
You will need to use it.
You're right.
Use what?
Harry said Harry, blatantly written.
The Flauros. Only with that can you stop it. Wait, the Flauros? Okay, now it's not. Didn't feel it's necessary to. I
It's
checked
just,
inside my pockets. It's thinking that.
Hmm.
4-sided object. However, does Sybil have such an object as well? Yeah, she can't fend off monsters. No, that is not likely. If she did, then she would have been able to understand my story a little better. What about Sybil? I consider chasing after Sybil. However, my true goal is rescuing my daughter. And Sybil, with the same goal, is risking her life as she heads to the amusement park.
Yeah, without the flowers.
I think I should believe in Sybil. No, maybe it's merely my selfishness telling myself that. However, my destination is the lighthouse, and it's not far from here. To run there is my mission and my fate. I entered the lighthouse and then ascended a spiral staircase to arrive at the roof. It makes light of all these monstered gauntlets, and then I could not believe my eyes. A giant crest is present on the floor. I'm standing on the roof of the lighthouse. The mark of Samael. That's what Dahlia called it. She said I must not let it be completed, so I scribbled it out with my foot. This town is gradually being eroded away by this crest. Alyssa was standing there. She looked as if she had just now completed the mark here, and she just looked at me without a change in her expression. For the first time, we just faced each other, each of us understanding each other to a certain degree. Just as I thought that her eyes showed a little sadness, she turned around and suddenly disappeared as if she had jumped from the tall lighthouse. Alyssa, wait! Ada, wait! Well, he heads back to the boat, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, because I go straight back to the boat. I know she's fully disappeared, so whatever.
In order to return to the boat from just before, I retraced my steps from the lighthouse. The small boat stopped midway along the pier. Perhaps Sybil has returned, and with that expectation in mind, I opened the door leading to the inside of the boat. But Sybil is not here.
I think it's a very Japanese thing to have however and but with three dots after it, and but as like a space, because in the what is it, the fucking, I think it was a Yakuza 3 I played, and it has like a summary of the past games, and every time it says however, and this isn't Japanese but it's translated in English at the bottom, however dot dot dot, and it moves on to the next scene, but dot 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 moves on to the next scene. Does that every time. I think it's like some just generic Japanese way of like doing stories or something.
Yeah, it could be. It could also be slightly mistranslated.
Maybe.
Maybe she's still on her way to the amusement park.
Again, I've seen it in two separate things though, so I don't know. This and that.
It could be a cultural misunderstanding that makes us think
that's
it's
possible.
If the amusement park becomes really good, does it become an amazement park? Or maybe she has already arrived there.
But if it's a bit shitty though, it's a mildly amusement park.
Oh yeah. Disillusionment park.
You know, but that Yakuza thing, he does actually say the same word every time it says but or however. So he is clearly saying like the same word every time. That whilst we were watching, I said the Summer Game Fest stream open. At the very end, they showed a trailer for Elden Ring, which I guess is the big showstopper.
Elden Ring.
Yeah,
I can't
by
remember
George
what
R.
it
R.
is.
Martin. It's the Souls
the-
Souls game by George R. Martin. Who's probably wrote like 3 things on the post-it and then gave it to the developers.
But his name's on it.
His name's on it. Or maybe she.
Or maybe something has happened to her. Within a current of guessing that raced by like a revolving lantern, I ran towards the amusement park. Whoa, what the fuck? Select A if you scooped up the red liquid in the hospital with the plastic bottle. Select B if you picked up the kitchen knife in the hospital. Or if you scooped the blue or the purple.
Why can't it just remember the decision itself? That kind of feels like the only valid decision, and is this one.
Yeah,
Well,
because
say because we did that, but I'm guessing it's good ending, bad ending, pretty much.
yeah, pretty much.
Very confused as to why.
I arrive at the amusement park by going through the sewers.
Yeah.
In the amusement park, which was changed to the form of the other world. Several of the attractions run constantly as if they were broken toys. I passed by the Ferris wheel and arrived at the merry-go-round. However, only this attraction is not running.
I should rearrange my windows slightly.
Well, it's only natural for a ride to not be in operation. It seems unnatural for this merry-go-round to not be running. Why? I walk around it. While slipping between the horses, I look for Sybil. Maybe she decided to ride it. Quite a bit of time has passed since she came here. I suppose maybe she didn't find Cheryl and headed back to that ship. But the only way to get here is through those sewers. If she's gone back, then we should have run across each other at some point. How is she getting through all those locked doors? Huh? What is this? I slowly kneel down and try touching it. What is this?
See, she may have had to come across locked doors, yes, but you have to remember that Sybil, unless I guess we might learn the other scenario, but from what we've gathered at this point, Sybil only ever moves through the real world, not the dark world, until this point at the very least. So I guess she wouldn't come across all the same blocks.
The dark green liquid is still warm.
Remember this.
Something moved through her, and if this trail is traced, it'll lead back to the source of the liquid.
Also.
And then, in the darkness, I see Sybil from behind. Sybil? I try calling out to her. Only the low sound of the motor of the Ferris wheel echoes from afar. She should be able to hear me. I take another look at her. I had to show that in full CG. She slowly stood from the wheelchair. Odd. I do not see the brave attitude that was present in her just before. She looks as if something drained the life out of her. Like she's wandering around for no reason. I approach her and call out to her once more. As I do this, Sybil staggers as she slowly turns and confirms my presence. And then, as if I'm watching her in slow motion, she raises her right arm until it's parallel with the ground. And then a bullet fires from the handgun she's holding.
Lodge itself into my skull.
Sybil, it's me! It's Harry! The bullet grazes my shoulder, and with a discordant metallic sound, it hits one of the wooden horses, burying itself in 3 inches of wood. She is coming towards me. Her eyes no longer appear to be human. The eerie red colour of her eyes does not make it look like her life force has been drained. Makes it look like her life force has been drained, but instead it makes it appear as if she has been possessed by some evil being. I was too late, I think. Her heart had been devoured by someone, not by Alessa. What is that? What is there is no longer Sybil. Just an alter ego of Alessa that is using Sybil's body. At this time, I remembered. I searched my pockets. Got it! The plastic bottle. The vermilion liquid is inside it. I scooped it up in the hospital.
What would make him assume to use this?
The red of Sybil's eyes looks a lot like the red of that liquid.
Man, that's a fucking reach.
I hold up the plastic bottle so that Sybil can see it and shake it left and right. Hey Sybil, you want some of this?
She jumps after it and I throw it off the edge and she falls. Oh.
And then just for a moment, her expression changed to one of imploring. She must be aware. But she seems to be caught on by an edge in her body that will not do her bidding. It's like she's being attracted to me. With her gun ready, Sybil approaches. Upon closer inspection, I can see that her eyes are full of tears. I unscrew the cap of the plastic bottle. No one is riding the wooden horses, so the speed increases.
That isn't how merry-go-rounds work.
Of course it is.
Like weighed down by the people or something.
Yeah.
Like, they go crazy fast if there's not enough people sitting on them.
I think that it is like time is rapidly passing for everyone but the two of us. At the same time as the hammer falls in Sybil's gun with a click, I sprinkle the liquid in the plastic bottle on Sybil without leaving a drop inside.
I'm surprised there's no choices involved in this.
Yeah.
Good.
Sybil tries to speak and her face twists agonizingly. At the same time, white smoke rises from her entire body and gravity pulls her to the ground, face down. And then a creepy creature that is shaped like a human organ burrows up out of Sybil's back and approaches my feet. I forcibly crush it under my foot with all my might. Sybil, wake up! Snap out of it! Sybil doesn't respond. Sybil! He looks bored there.
He doesn't.
After a bit, Sybil opened her eyes. Her eyes are calm blue. Harry? What happened? Shh, don't talk. I'll take care of you. A look of relief appears on her face, and then she closes her eyes again. Once I'm done binding her wound, I close my eyes as well, and place my hand on Sybil's breast at shoulder. Harry, why did they take your daughter? Why her? I'm not sure myself. But you know, Cheryl isn't my biological daughter. I actually haven't told her yet. She probably already knows anyway, though. We found her abandoned on the side of the highway. She was still a baby and no one knew where she came from. We didn't have any kids of our own. My wife was sick and it didn't look like she was getting any better. So we took Cheryl in. So in that case, there might be some connections between Cheryl and this town. So what do you do now? Cheryl is my daughter.
I gotta
I will save her. I gotta find her.
I gotta save her.
No matter what. You'd think they could have had a looping animation of the horses like they did in the...
Yeah, like a GIF. Like they have the stairs. Like, they're looping animation stairs.
Maybe they used every last bit of memory on the cart. I
Maybe.
slowly opened my eyes.
Surprised me. Sorry, confront Alyssa.
And then, just as I had predicted, she appeared. Alyssa. The girl that wrapped up this town and its residents in her other world. The girl carefully formed her body from out of light and appeared right in front of me. I begin to talk to that demon. I figured you'd show. Hold it right there. I don't know who you are, what you're trying to do, and I don't care. Just one thing. Let Cheryl go. That's all I ask. Before I finish speaking, Alyssa raises her right hand towards the sky. And then she brings her arm down and my entire body is blown backwards. My body tumbles across the ground like a rag for about 30 meters and then finally comes to a rest. Damn! Such incredible power! A servant of God, a demon's power. Ouch, demons.
They're terrible demons. Ouch!
And now a person like me has no chance against her. Funny, as I said demon, it actually did come up at random. Power is gushing out of her body and it emits a pale light. I cannot even approach her. The flowers, Harry. The flowers. Huh? What is this? Suddenly, a blinding light emits from my pocket. It's that four-sided object, the Flauros. The light shoots out in a straight line from each of the points of the triangles and eventually rises up into the air. Just as I thought that the green light and sound it was wrapped in meant that its power was greater than Alyssa's. The power of the Flauros condensed, became a beam of light and pierced Alyssa's body. Ooh. Just as I was just before, Alyssa was blown backwards by the power which she could not overcome. Where's Cyril?
That's really seamless that. I think I would have thought it was actually fun on this stream.
Give me back my daughter.
Get out my door!
I was on the verge of passing out and I thought of Cheryl. All I could do is calmly look at the unbelievable sight before me as it unfolds before my eyes. Just what happened? Is Cheryl okay? However, she does not answer me. Instead, a hoarse voice passes into my thoughts that is accompanied by the sound of footsteps. We meet at last, Alyssa. Oh, Talia Gillespie.
I really like saying a name in this game, don't they? It's like, you're
I'm
from
able to
Wordle.
move from my prone position. I thought about whose voice that was. And then, using all my strength, I stand. After confirming that it was Dahlia in front of me, I spoke in a voice that was nearly a yell. Where is Cheryl? Where is she? Dahlia does not hear me yelling. She does not look back and looks at Alyssa with a creepy smile. Alyssa, this is the end of your little game. Mama. Mother, I'm confused, said Harry. Huh? Could she be? You've been a ghastly little pest, haven't you, Alyssa?
Why doesn't it say Dahlia right now?
I was careless thinking you couldn't escape from our spell. But Mommy didn't know how much you'd grown. That's why I couldn't catch you all by myself. But what a pity, yes? Now you're half indebted to this man for his help. Hey, what are you talking about? My voice just echoes emptily in the darkness. Alyssa, my dear little girl. There's one thing left I need you to do for me. No, get away from me. Bad girl. Everything is ready. Let's go home now, hmm? Transport teleportation.
Wait! Yep.
What about Cheryl? Just where is she? Give me back my daughter! I yell at the air in general. My daughter! I gotta find her! Cheryl! Amazing. Well, you went to the lighthouse initially. Gotta be honest.
Wait, I'm a bit confused. Select A if you went to lighthouse. I think it's lighthouse. Select B if you went after Civil to the amusement park. I did?
Well, you went to the lighthouse first.
Wait, is that what,
You went to the lighthouse.
you did? Oh, Lisa?
Lisa? What happened? Where's Alyssa and Dahlia? Harry, listen. Something you said before has been bothering me. I just can't get it out of my head. What is it, Lisa? So I went to look in the basement. Even though I was scared as hell. Like you said, there were those creepy rooms. Good thing you killed all the monsters. But nothing really unusual down there. But while I was down there, I got this weird feeling. Like I'd been there before. Like something happened there, but I can't quite remember somehow. What was it? Harry, help me. I'm so scared. I can't take this. It's only a temporary thing. You're in shock from when you were knocked out. Don't fret about it. You'll remember after a while. No. You don't understand. Wait. Where do you think you're going? Daughter, go find her. Harry? Lisa. What's the matter with you? I get it now. Why I'm still alive even though everyone else is dead. I'm not the only one who's still walking around.
Yeah.
I'm the same as them.
When she's seen it then, 'cause she's effectively one of the monsters created by Alyssa as well. Or at least a copy of the real Lisa.
I just hadn't noticed it before. Lisa? Stay by me, Harry. Please? I'm so scared. Help me. Save me from them. Please? Harry? Lisa. Sorry.
I mean, you don't stay with her at any point, so I guess I'll not stay with her.
I'm sorry, but there are things I have to take care of. I don't think that I can protect you. Lisa has tears in her eyes. I'm afraid. I can't do anything alone. I'm a helpless woman. Please. I thought for a bit and came to a conclusion. I cannot do it. I love my daughter. Lisa appealed to me in a tearful voice. That girl that you don't even know if is alive or not. You don't even know where she is now. You should be worried about the person that's alive right in front of you. I lightly exhaled. No matter what you say, I must go. Please understand what I'm going through. Please. Saying that, I turned towards the door. Lisa reached out to my shoulder, but I did not look back. Lisa's condition becomes abnormal. She then extends her hand out towards me. Help me! She doesn't say it, but I know that is what she is saying from the movement of her lips. While she stares into the air, Lisa's body appears to drift and wiggle as she edges towards me one step at a time. She falls to her knees. She falls on her hands. With me fixed to her sight, Lisa is falling headlong down the staircase to death.
Okay.
Figuratively. And then Lisa stopped moving.
Mm-hmm.
With Lisa now no more than a doll in front of me, I once again notice that I'm inside the hospital. A place which is wrapped in an evil atmosphere that I have never seen the likes of.
So in the game as well, after the amusement part, you just magically get teleported to the hospital when Lisa's there. Although you see Lisa twice, you see Lisa at the beginning, then later on. It seems like it's combined both of those elements into one part there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but maybe. Ask the doctor to let me quit being in charge of that patient. It's too weird. The room is filled with insects. Even with doors and windows shut, they get in despite me. To the hospital. Still alive, but with wounds that won't heal. Blood and pus flow from the bathroom faucet. I try to stop it, but it won't turn off. Feeling bad. Need to throw up. But nothing comes out. Vomiting only bile. Need drug. Told the doctor I quit. Won't work at that hospital anymore. Someone help me. Pocket radio continues to make noise. The raging of the unknown things around me rocks my eardrums. There's monsters which always approach shortly after I use my flashlight. It was all I could do to intimidate them with the gun whilst running away. After running for a bit, I realized that I'm no longer in the original hospital. I have no way of knowing where here is. Bridging the gap of my faint consciousness, I move from place to place. I'm being moved by someone. Maybe that's the best way to think about it. Or maybe I'm just being painfully wandering around inside my own nightmare. I cannot tell at all. I can only trust my senses and rely on my own judgment. And then I raise my head. A straight corridor extends forward from where I'm standing. As I slowly walk forward, one door seems to call out to me, so I approach it. Suddenly, the wall of the room creaks with a boom. And then the floor I was standing on begins to rapidly descend along with the rest of the room.
Mhm.
I felt like I would begin floating in the air, so I used my arms to brace myself. And then I passed out.
Right at the very end.
It hurts. My whole body hurts. When I come to, I find that I'm lying on the floor of a classroom in the elementary school. My body is spread out on the floor like a Japanese character.
Okay.
Oh yeah, just like that character.
It's yeah, okay.
I can hear someone talking. Cannot make out what they're saying very well. As I lie on my back, I can see who is talking just by looking around. I cannot believe my eyes. Over there I see Dahlia and Alyssa. They look like ghosts and I can see through their bodies. No, I don't want to. Do as your mommy tells you, now. I just want you to lend me a teeny bit of your power.
This happens in the not in the school, but in the wish house place.
Yeah. That's all. No, I don't want to do it. It will make everyone happy, and it's for your own good too. Ooh, everyone happy? Oh, but mommy, I just want to be with you, selfish little bitch. Just the two of us. Please understand.
Please understand.
Oh, yes, I see. Maybe mommy has been wrong. Mommy,
Mummy!
why didn't I see this before? There's no reason to wait. Herein lies the mother's womb containing the power to create life. I could have done it all myself. Mommy? Finally, they suddenly disappear.
I'm not entirely sure what she's trying to get at when she says that.
Hmm.
Does that mean that she didn't need Alyssa and she kind of realised it's just totally randomly there that she could have birthed a god herself? Is that what it's meant to say?
Kind of alluding to that, but
I guess it's kind of what happens in Channel 3.
she seemingly still seems to require Alyssa, though.
She's there anyway because I guess she's there, but in fact, Channel 3, I think that's what happens, effectively. Because the last boss kind of just does it herself in the end.
The classroom regains its stillness as if nothing had happened. I got on my knees, stood up, and looked around my surroundings. Chairs and desks were arranged in order. Using them as support, I unsteadily walked towards the exit. The moment I placed my hand on the wooden sliding door, it opened with great force as if it had a mind of its own. Then the large flow of air coming from beyond it thrust me into a dark space.
Not to VCR.
I was forced down, and there it was, a TV 10 years ahead of its time. I found that it had been thrown into a room of the hospital again. My body had rubbed on the disgusting, dirty floor. I picked myself up and suppressed the urge to vomit, brushing off my shirt several times. I'll need that tetanus shot. A video cassette recorder had been installed here, and it looks like it can be used.
A Betamax was. Wait a minute. What was this weird device? This wasn't a Betamax. The picture quality was way better.
Whoa!
What was
it's
the advantage
incredible.
of videos better than Betamax, right?
I can't remember all of the.
I think they had
things.
longer playtimes, if I recall correctly, right? Betamax was kind of short. Anyway.
VHS versus Beta. I insert the tape that I picked up at some point. You know, I just picked it up.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. And timidly press the play button. So Betamax was superior in quality, but the cost of the equipment was more.
Oh, that's it. Oh, damn, I looked at the screen. Damn, this quality's dog shit. Where's the Betamax when you need one?
After a moment of static, a picture appears. On the screen, Lisa appears.
He's appeared to her twice. Appears twice though, but too often.
She's sitting alone with her elbows on a desk as she appears and her head down.
It appears her head is down.
I turn up the volume on the monitor to listen carefully. What is it? It's Still an unusually high fever. Eyes don't open. Getting a pulse, but just barely breathing. Her skin is all charred. Even when I change the bandages, the blood and pus just start oozing through. Why? What is keeping this child alive? I can't stand it any longer. I won't tell a soul. Promise. So please. And then the screen goes black. The tape was ejected as if it were something dirty being spit out. It fell to the floor and it broke with a crash.
Mm-hmm.
There was no doubt something is eating away at my consciousness. The magnetic tape extends out of the fallen video cassette and wraps around my legs. Whoa! I try to get away, but the tentacles of tape get around my neck and begin to tighten.
Oh.
With both hands, I try as hard as I can to fight away the tentacle rape, to tear the tape away that is twisted around my neck. When I'm halfway passing out, so my hands don't have the strength to do so. In the light that is reaching my pupils, I can faintly detect what appears to be human figures.
Yeah, you see this thing.
They're standing around the bed with Dolly on the left, Kaufman on the right. And just a bit away from him, some people are in white coats that look like doctors. Each of them has troubled looks on their faces, and they peer at the face of the person lying on the bed. Everything is going according to the plan. Sheltered in the womb. But it's not done yet. Half of the soul is lost. That is why the seed lies dormant. And what soul remains captured in that husk is buried deep down within the subconscious. What are you trying to say? That it won't work? That wasn't our agreement. No. These are just stalling tactics. If we lend a hand, we will be able to get power. Never fear. The promise shall not be broken. But the power we could draw now will be very weak, almost nothing. Unless we get the other half of the soul. We'll use a magical spell.
Ooh.
Feeling the child's pain is sure to come.
It's Leviosa.
But that will take time. And then the illusions fade away. Is that the magical spell that kind of drew the
I guess. I guess so. Yeah. Clearly, shattered souls. You know, what is Cheryl? I guess in Sentinel Origins, you kind of learn how she ended up at the side of the road.
I carefully observed the inside of the room. This room is... I've been here before, I think. The tape, which should be tightly wrapped around my throat, is gone. And I realize that my own hands are wrapped around my throat. Something is on top of the desk that has been placed in the center of the room. This isn't the first time I've been here. When I was here before, I was certain that unlike the other rooms, I had sensed the warmth and presence of a person in this room. When I looked at the picture on the desk, my belief changed. Alyssa. I tried calling out to her. She's the instigator that created this other world. However, it would be hard for anyone to forgive the experiment that was carried out on her body under the pretext of a magical spell. This is where she lived. Her hate spirals out in the cursed wing of this hospital. However, there is no way to prove the reality of it, as all I have is a vague sense of it. Reflecting my blank eyes, the room I am standing in begins to change shape. The bed and picture frame from before are gone, and the room transforms into a completely different one.
Oh, this room.
This is the child's room. Stuffed animals and art supplies are scattered all about. I noticed something. A butterfly collection. Huh? I think I just saw something flash.
just okay. So rather than
Found
putting
a
in
key.
rather than putting in the symbols of power, you just found the key.
Yep. This key invites me. Had I not been very careful, I would not have found it, as it was hidden behind one of the butterflies. There's a door in front of me. As I approach it, it seems to edge up to me. As I extend my hand to the knob, the door makes a light tapping sound and begins opening as if inviting me into the heart of something evil. A den of evil?
You saved Sybil. I saved her.
Select ending A. Select A. I finally arrived at the deepest level of the otherworld. Inside, the door is wide and the floor is a metal grating. It's filled with an evil atmosphere. Additionally, it's accompanied by a strong power that I have not felt before. The ceiling is too high for me to see. This is a giant space so large that I cannot tell if I am outside or not. I carefully walk into the large space one step at a time. All the answers I seek are probably in this room. Sybil has arrived here before me and has a gun readied. There are two people off in the direction that her gun is pointed at. And there she is. Dahlia! And Alyssa. It is definitely those two. I was shocked to realize that the talisman of Metatron was being used. In spite of the lost soul returning at last. Just a little longer and all would have been for naught. It's all because of that man. We must be thankful to him. Even though Alyssa has been stopped, his little girl has to go. What a pity. Freeze! Sybil yelled out loudly, and her trembling finger pulled the trigger. The explosion resounds, and the bullet starts towards the two women. However, the bullet smashes into an invisible barrier just before it can hit Dahlia, and it shatters into pieces. Dahlia smiles as she's saying, "But of course!" What in the devil's name? Dahlia's demeanour becomes serious, and at the same time, I think I see something flash in front of Sybil. In the next moment, Sybil's body flies an arc through the air, and she lands near where I'm standing. Dahlia still has not noticed me. I boldly walk towards Dahlia, and I scream at her. "Stop this, Dahlia!" Dahlia shows no compunction or surprise and turns to face with a calm expression on her face. Well, well, well. To think you'd make it this far. Where's Cheryl? What have you done to her? What are you talking about? You've seen her many times. Restored to her former self. I'm in no mood for jokes. I didn't understand what she was saying. Don't you see? She's right there. Right there? Only Alyssa, draped in her blue clothing, is where Dahlia is pointing.
In the original game, she's wearing that white dress, isn't she? The kind of skip that detail.
That's absurd. You're the only one who thinks so. Why? Why are you doing this? It's been a long 7 years. So 7 years ago, that was a doll that was sent, and then Parry found it by the roadside, and that was it. That was the thing. It was never a real person.
No, Sarah was real. He was just a split doll. No, she's not talking about the thing in the wheelchair. She's talking about Alyssa, the reformed Alyssa, both the souls in the single body. 7 years ago is when Harry found the baby, half of Alyssa's soul.
So for the 7 years since that terrible day, Alyssa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death. Alyssa has been trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens. He has been nurtured by that nightmare, waiting for the day to be born. The day has finally come. The time is nay. Everyone will be released from pain and suffering. Our salvation is at hand. Get it? The time is nay.
Mhm.
This is the day of reckoning. With all our sorrows will be washed away. When we return to the true paradise, my daughter will be the mother of gold. Actual mother of actual God.
Yep.
Incredible.
Mother of God. That's the white dress.
At about the exact time I begin to speak, another voice drowned mine out. Quit screwing around. Return things to how they were before. Kaufman. He looks lame there with his gun.
Yeah, it does.
Michael Kaufman stood there out of breath as if he had just arrived in time. Did I ask for this? Nobody uses me. You won't get away with this. Your role is over. We don't need you anymore. What do you think you could accomplish by coming here? A smile appears on Kaufman's face as he reaches into his pocket. My, aren't we getting cocky? Bet you can't see this and keep you cool.
Tosses the.
It's the item that Kaufman pulled out of his pocket. It's definitely the small bottle that I found in the gas tank of the motorcycle that was in the garage somewhere. Agarlaw Fortist! I thought I'd got rid of that. All I had to do was plant it somewhere for you to find. It kept you busy. Ah, you're easy. And there's more where this came from.
It's not. It's one bottle.
Stop it! Coffin throws the small bottle at Alyssa. All four of us watch the bottle fly in a beautiful parabola, our eyes fixed on the sacred liquid within. There is tension. Although she is normally calm and composed, the drug is enough to frighten Dahlia. A small bottle hit a part of Alyssa's body, shattered into pieces. It soaked Alyssa's uniform, Alyssa uncomfortably with a red liquid that was inside. Dahlia looks completely emaciated as she watches the whole thing. However, not me nor anyone could have predicted the situation that came out of that event.
Oh my god.
A devil! A wicked monster. Alessa's back splits open, a giant creature the likes of which I've never seen before. Tears through the cloth in one piece, of the one-piece dress Alessa is wearing. It looks like an insect breaking out of his cocoon as it's being born. It has large wings and a head like a bull, and with its green muscles. Swelling, it rose up out of its mother's body, Alyssa.
Oh my god. Demon. Say
And
something.
then it let out an earth-shakingly brutal evil cry and looked down at us. Be you angels? Oh, what the...
Nay, we are but men. Rock.
I yell out, not addressing anyone in particular. What on earth? That's not supposed to... Copper just stands there in utter amazement as the events unfold like how he had expected. It's awakening!
Yes, it also says, I have awakened.
It's awake! Now no one could interfere. Dahlia, in a fit of insanity, had a feeling that could not be described as pleasant or angry. Cheryl! I call my daughter's name one more time. Give up! That person no longer exists. This is a god! Descended upon us to reach out and save us. I edge up to Alyssa, the mother's body that has been cast off. And there I see Cheryl about to fade away as always. Thank you, Daddy. Goodbye. I'm certain that is what she said to me. Cheryl? Can't be. You can't leave me like this. Cheryl was already beginning to run away from me. This can't be happening. Cheryl! Cheryl! I yell out. The figure of my daughter, who I have been searching for, gradually dissolves into the darkness.
Damn, mission failed.
Just like the figure I saw when I first arrived in Silent Hill. Cheryl, wait!
Oh. Well, it's the Final Fantasy boss. Final Fantasy boss music.
Then electricity overflowed from the entire body of the creature that was born from Alyssa. It divided into several lightning bolts which struck above my head. I ran about trying to escape. However, the band of electricity follows me and constantly appears in front of me. I have begun to sweat and it's getting in my eyes. If I keep running about like this, I'll be beaten. Oh no, I don't want to get beaten. I vaguely think, even if it means that Cheryl will not come back. For killing this conceptually evil creature, the situation will clearly improve for the better. I readied my rifle, my faithful rifle. But only a fool would miss. I ready my weapon. During the short time between the lightning strikes, I fire many bullets into the creature's body. Ooh. During the short time from when it spreads its large wings and becomes ready to strike, I do not even think about ceasing my attack, not for 1 second.
Nope.
Cheryl's smile fits through the back of my mind. What was it that she wanted? When we decided to travel to Silent Hill, you were the one to suggest it, right, Cheryl? Were you called here, or did you wish to come here of your own will? Cheryl, I loved you more than anyone, and I still do even now. That's the truth. However, I must bury this creature. I must make up for the sins that Cheryl took from me. And then, when the final bullet penetrated its body, it's like felling a tree. You just kind of hews it down with bullets.
I mentioned Dari getting set on fire.
It lost the means to keep its body together, and finally the piece of its body fell apart and dissolved into the darkness. It was completely gone. The large space begins to shake heavily. A loud, horrifying noise rises up from below, and with it, my existence is thrown from dimension to dimension as I feel pain just being there. Fire has broken out in various places in the air, and I can tell that this space, as well as the entire town, are on the verge of collapsing. Alyssa lies on her stomach in the center of the space, and she shows no sign of moving from there. She's just protecting her entire body in a bird-like manner. At least I don't have to look at it after any more stupid kids. She desperately holds out the new life that is below her abdomen towards me. What? Damn it! I run over to Alyssa. A pained expression raises on Alyssa's face as she hands me the newborn baby to me. The hellfires burn with force and spread around, and my life is threatened. There is not enough time left to try and rescue Alyssa from here. I hold the baby she gave me tightly to my chest and begin to run from this twisting space in search of somewhere safe. Sybil, who was unconscious, regains consciousness and begins to run behind me to escape from the pit of this mad world. I look back at Sybil. And then
I shouldn't
I saw the largest ball of flames up to this point was closing in behind. Sybil, watch out! The great fireball, which was more than enough to completely burn both our bodies, stopped just above Sybil as she stood holding her head in her hands.
More than enough to kill anything.
The timer stopped.
Clearly.
Small sparks and bits of concrete debris were all frozen in midair. I was at a loss for words. Alesta holds both her hands high up into the air as if she were supporting the falling wreckage, and her face twists in agony. Alesta and I gazed at each other for a moment. A tear travels down her precious cheek in a single line. Damn it, I only read in books. A tear? Hurry and escape. Exerting the last of her power, Alessa stopped time to save me, Sybil and the baby in my arms. Alessa! Understood, We won't let your volition go in vain. I make a sign to Sybil with my eyes and then return my gaze forwards. And then I begin to run with all my might. This is the last run. I do not look back. Why did Alyssa entrust the small life born from her at the end to me? I have no idea. But I have a feeling that I'm obligated to raise this child. And then die in front of a TV. Behind me, an explosion occurs. I run. All I could do is continue to run. Without looking back, I move forward towards the ray of light, and I have a faint glimpse of
The end.
the end.
Interesting.
And the
Oh,
real
does
difference is
it just ended very suddenly, I guess. It was pretty much bang on exactly the way we played the game. Which,
Yeah.
the way we played the game got the best end. I guess that's the best end in this as well.
Yeah, it didn't specify Kaufman being dragged into hell, but
Oh yeah, you're
It's
right.
kind of-
Kaufman didn't even specify Dahlia getting killed. She kind of gets killed like well, not off screen technically, but in very small detail. Her death is.
yeah. You don't really. I guess the thing is, if that had been the case, we would have been asked if we picked X or Y. So it's obvious that they didn't bother to
No, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
add that detail.
Kaufman did show up at the end. Still.
This kanji must take up a lot of space.
Absolutely no choices in that last half of the game. Completely dropped the
Mhm.
benefit
No,
choices.
yeah. The whole concept of the amazing choices, although it seems there's only 2 real choices in the game.
I'm guessing they're afraid. The afraid that it asks if you did them.
Yeah.
Those are the real choices that actually modify the game. The rest must be just set dressing.
Just give you a little extra detail before it loops around and you just do what you're doing anyway.
Actually, special thanks to SoundOnMemories.net. This is the fan translation.
Oh, yeah.
Should we an end after credit sequence? No, I didn't even show the scene with them holding the baby or anything. That's a bit lame. 1:30. It's still the other scenario to play. I mean, maybe we shouldn't do this now and do it in the part 3.
I'm sure it'll either be an episode or 2, so we'll do it next time on Game-Geki.
Yeah, one thing I just wanted to say, kind of different to Resident Evil, in that you notice that Harry survives, Sybil survives, yet they never show up in any other game. Like if there was fucking Resident Evil, then like Sybil would have showed up in like 5 different Sentinel games after that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that
Well-
about Resident Evil. How it constantly brings back characters. Only Harry does technically return, but only as a corpse.
Yeah. Damn it.
Every other reference to characters in other Silent Hill games is just Easter eggs,
Pyramid
really.
Head is the ultimate sin. And they
Pyramid
keep
Head,
bringing back-
unfortunately, he showed up in one game, and then unfortunately, the American version decided to bring him back shamelessly. Well, I guess you could technically consider every Silent Hill after Silent Hill 4 to be not canon, especially Silent Hill. What's it called? Homecoming, because that one effectively ditches the whole, the very Silent Hill town of the original games, and kind of bizarrely supplants the film version instead in this place. And Silent Hill, what's it called? The Blanket of Shame one.
That is Downpour.
Silent Hill Downpour. That one's pretty much a reboot anyway. The whole town Silent Hill's completely changed. But yeah, well, I guess we're not done with this game yet. I mean, I'm guessing the Sybil chapter's gonna be shorter, so maybe one episode will do it.
You'd think it would be shorter, just given how stingy they were with the story overall, as if there was like a hard limitation on space or something.
Yeah, because it's fully original, so it has to be short, right?
Yeah.
Well, because I'll play something, we'll see everyone for more on Play Novel next time on Game-Geki.
GG.